we weren't supposed to mention that you existed at all. And if a customer asked if we knew who you were, we're supposed to play completely stupid.
Camelot 331 here, and I got something really, really special for you today. Something that happened to me completely randomly by the luck of the damn stars, and it kind of blew my mind. I'm talking with a guy today that went through a similar experience that I did, that worked the same amount of time that I did at GameStop. Why? I don't know. We'll ask him. Because it's kind of crazy. I thought I was the only one that's crazy. Apparently, he's also kind of crazy. But we're going to get into his story, and it ends in such an insane way, you're not going to be able to poop for an entire week. Pure constipation. It's going to be insane. So before we get into it, make sure you like this video. Make sure you comment down below. Make sure you give it a good old-fashioned updoodle and follow me on Instagram and message me because I ain't got no friends. It'd be a great time to be alive. But joining us today is my boy Zombie. We randomly met up out of nowhere, and he told me a little bit of his story, and it blew my ass out the damn water, and I have no ass anymore. So this is Zombie, and he worked at GameStop for 10 years. Tell me a little bit about what the hell went down at GameStop for you, my man.
Okay, so to give the origin story of how I wound up in GameStop, it was a perfect storm kind of type deal. Yeah. I wound up there when I needed a job really bad, and I have physical disabilities. So a lot of places around here, being in the South, don't hire people with physical or neurological disabilities whatsoever. But I helped the manager in the store one day, purely by accident, to sell a Wii, a DS, and a bunch of Pokemon stuff, because the guys asked me about Pokemon stuff. And I got hired on just to be the Pokemon guy.
Hell yeah.
That was my entire reputation, was I was the Pokemon guy. Ran Pokemon tournaments, events, all that other good jazz. For the most part, working with that manager was fairly good. He went to bat for me for anything. He hired me when nobody else would. Anytime corporate had any kind of an issue, he fought for everyone who worked in his store. Yeah. So those are the good parts.
Yeah, that's the good parts. It was a whole 7 seconds. No, like, and I know who you're talking about, and the dude was really a great manager, and I was always really jealous because my manager during the early period, I called him Egg. You know the guy, but my manager, dude, he was the biggest shit show that's ever existed on the face of the earth. And context for everybody watching, Zombie actually was in the exact same area I was in. So we kind of, you know, we've seen each other. Actually, we've seen each other in real life once or twice when we worked together. So that's why I recognize him, and that's how this all kind of came about. So yeah, so I know the guy he's talking about. But those were the good things. So let's talk about the intense thing.
Well, the first big intense thing actually came from my boss having to go to bat for me.
Yeah.
I had a time frame where I got very ill. We found out my gallbladder was dying, but we didn't know it yet. So I was sick a lot. And I was going through a divorce. My numbers plummeted.
Yep.
And it was only for like a 2-week time frame, but my numbers tanked. Our big guy, our big district dude himself came down.
Yep.
And told them to yeet me immediately.
Yep, dude, and that's
like didn't even give me time to improve.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing, because when my ex-wife was leaving me in 2016, same guy, by the way, district manager, same dude came to my store and asked me. He's like, "Man, it's probably time you think about resigning your position. It's probably time you." And I wasn't even ranking that damn bad. We were like rank 1800, which is like top 45%. He didn't even care. He's like, "Maybe it's time you should resign because my wife left." And I didn't even really suffer much. All I did was cry every once in a while in the back room alone. So, but no, dude, that's the thing is, as soon as you stop performing for 2 seconds, they're like, "All right, kill him."
Yep. And he went to bat for me. He did. He was like, "Yo, he's going through a divorce. You can't fire him right now." And he's like, they came to me with a time frame, get better in 2 weeks or I was gone. So I came in and just became a robot, and just my mental health tanked.
Yep.
Hard.
Yep.
I've got more to get into with all this weird stuff that happened to me, but wait. You mentioned the back room.
Yeah.
Okay. When you left, they talked horrible shit about you.
Oh, I know.
Excuse my language.
Dude, no, you're good. I totally know. I've heard the craziest damn things, but please elaborate.
They stated that like you were sneaking into the store, not to steal anything, not to take anything, but no, you were sneaking into the store late at night to sleep in the back room. Now, I know this is impossible because I know the security systems, because they upgraded all of our security systems during the time frame they said that you did this. They upgraded them way before that. You walk in the store, everybody gets an alert.
Yeah.
And it calls the store constantly. Are you here? Why are you here? How long are you going to be here? And then it contacts everybody bigger than us to tell them that.
Yeah.
But that's what they spread around.
Exactly. The thing is, the alarm company, like you said, they'll call every key holder.
Yep.
Like everybody would have known. And why, like all things aside, why the hell am I going to the store to sleep? I got a perfectly good house that I live alone in. Like,
where are you going to sleep? I saw your back room.
It's so small.
Yeah, you couldn't lay in the floor if you tried. If you fell, you would only fall diagonally.
Yeah,
walking in that back room. There was nowhere to do anything in that back room.
I have a dog too, so like I got to let him out and feed him and stuff. Yeah, that's a weird one. That's a weird accusation right there. He's just sleeping in the back damn room.
Yeah, he came in and he's sleeping in the back room like a homeless dude. I was like, what? No.
Oh my God.
Right when you got released, they called me to your store. I had to work in your store.
Yeah.
They needed people. And I was told this story then, and I was walked in the back room. I was like, but where? It's impossible.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Insane. So like to elaborate on that slightly, when I was there, you remember the tool man, the head of HR. So he came to my store and they
had our fights.
Yeah, dude. They had all kinds of weird accusations here and there that they had no substance on. They were like, oh, this. And I was like, yeah, it's not true. And they were like, all right, cool. Well, what they ended up saying was, hey, you went and sat at your desk before the store opened, which constitutes a break. So they said I was stealing time. It's time card fraud, which is an age-old tactic from most corporate companies. And that's what they were going to try to get me on before I walked out the damn door. So, and then of course our DM gave me a hug for some reason and was crying. It was really weird actually. But yeah, dude.
He's a weird huggy guy.
It's very huggy, especially with the women. He loves to squeeze on them girls. So yeah, but no. So any more crazy accusations? And also, what did they say? Like, were you were still there during the channel when my channel was going and stuff, right?
Oh yeah. So there are two things we need to touch on. One before that, and then one during that time frame. That gets sweet. I started having issues with the company because we had hired somebody on, which had who's like me. They have autism.
Yep.
There's a little more pronounced. It's easier to see. Soon as they have a social worker that came in to work with them, I got to find out the horrible secret that GameStop has was supposed to, or at least our district, I can't speak for every district, supposed to not hire people with neurological disorders. Yeah. They said you can't hire him. He can't work a register. Yeah. You can't hire someone with autism, which is really ironic because we do stuff with Autism Speaks, which if you have autism, you don't do anything with Autism Speaks. Period. They're bad, but that's politics. We don't get into that. But yeah, so it was really kind of ironic that they're very much help people with autism because they do that every April and said, you can't do this. You can't have this guy.
That sounds very GameStop-y, to be honest.
And that made me so that's where my rose tinted glasses came off that. My manager left and everything else. And I stopped fighting as much.
Yeah. So that makes sense. Dude, GameStop did stuff like that all the time. Like I had my district manager tell me to fire people and not hire certain people. And depending on even depending on sometimes like their color or their race, man, he'd be like, yeah, don't hire them. So,
sorry. If I get into it, I'm going to get mad. And if I get mad, this going to get demonetized 3 ways from Sunday. And we don't like those dollar signs. But it does lead me into another heated topic since you were asking about the time frame when you started doing the channel. Okay, around the end of my time at GameStop was when you started doing this.
Yeah.
And it's not necessarily when you started doing this, but when you started getting seen.
Yeah.
And our district saw it as well as GameStop as a whole saw it, and you took off.
Yeah.
That's around the time frame that I wound up winding down at GameStop. And the reasoning behind this, I'd already gotten talked to a couple of times because I was a YouTuber and I was a content creator, because they have this whole thing that if you're a content creator, they want you to advertise for GameStop. Yep. If you work for GameStop, they want you to advertise for them for free, and they want you to be family friendly. And as you've seen a couple seconds ago, I'm not family friendly. I play horror games. My language can get kind of out there. So I just never mentioned GameStop period. I didn't say I worked for GameStop. I said I worked for a game store. And you know, this area's got tons of mom and pop stores.
Yeah.
So I just said I worked for a game store. Well, then you got popular. And I didn't know that GameStop knew about you yet. Yeah. I knew I had been subscribed to you. I saw you and I was like, yeah, that's accurate. I watched it because I was like, I feel that. I relate to that on a molecular level. So yeah, I was like, cool. I'm gonna subscribe to this dude. I had no idea they knew who you were yet.
Yeah, and that's actually very important because when it was popping off, and still to this day, man, there are people on Reddit, there are people everywhere that claims that GameStop doesn't know who I am. It was never an issue. Dude, that is the biggest BS I've ever heard in my life.
That is a big lie because I found out about this after I got a warning.
Yep.
Because I had my second manager at the time. My second manager also went to bat for me many times. He went to bat for me over the situation. And he informed me of what was going on and why this was happening. Because you existed, anything that didn't fit their brand of mine on YouTube was now a problem.
Yep.
And they were told to get rid of me, that I needed to choose between my career at GameStop, which being there for 10 years and making a maximum of $10.25 an hour.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a career.
Yep.
That's what they call a career. Oh, I'm going to get mad. That's what they call a career. I had to choose between my career at GameStop or being a YouTuber. At this time, I was a small YouTuber, about maybe 1,500 subscribers. I'm still small. I'm still very small. I'm 3K now. I'm very small. But I started making this was bad about it. I started making as much doing that at that size as it was at GameStop.
Yeah, that's how bad their pay structure is.
And they came down to me as like, you have to choose because we can't have you being a GameStop representative and making a bad name for us because you do all this, that. And I was like, what the hell do I do that makes a bad anything for you? And I had no idea about you yet. I got told about this right after I had this whole long conversation.
Right.
They're just telling me it's like essentially trying to spank me for being a bad boy because I say the F word and because I play bloody games that we sell in store.
Yeah, exactly.
They told me I couldn't play Outlast. The Outlast collection had just launched at GameStop, and they told me I couldn't play it. Big Skippy leaves, and my boss comes and talks to me. He's like, look, this is what they've said. This is what they want you to do. It's like, oh, I know. They told me to. He's like, yeah, but they didn't tell you why. I was like, tell me. Okay. So he sat me down, and we had a good, long discussion about the fact that your channel existed, but he didn't mention your name yet. He's like, but he mentioned you. Because he knew you as a person. Yeah. He's like, you're that guy, and they've been talking about him. They said all this, that, and the other. Which plus side, my head manager didn't say anything bad about you. So, yay team. I think he was one of the only people who didn't.
Yep.
Went through and he told me everything about like how you'd left, how you'd become a channel, and I was like, wait. And I mentioned your name. He's like, yeah, we can't say that name.
See, I knew it. Damn,
your name's a bad word.
I knew it, dude.
You're like Lord Voldemort to them. They do not want to hear your name. He's like, you can't say his name right now because like they'll hear it and they're going to lose their stuff. They're trying to act like he doesn't exist. And that was the thing. If we were asked about you, we were to say you didn't exist.
Exactly.
I was there for one more month. I finished out my month because I respected my manager. And my manager, we butted heads all the time, was a good guy. So I wanted to give him time to find somebody else and do everything he needed to do. But yeah, like the entire time frame, we weren't supposed to mention that you existed at all. And if a customer asked if we knew who you were, we're supposed to play completely stupid.
Yeah.
That you even existed because you weren't quote unquote for the brand and you were just trying to ruin the brand because you were an angry, disgruntled ex-employee. And this is where they started talking about sleeping in the back room. They claimed you slept in the back room. They claimed that you were intoxicated all the time and this, that, and the other.
And that's an important thing to say because I didn't actually drink until I left GameStop. Like that's the weirdest thing ever.
I'd seen you in store right before you left, and it's the South. Everybody drinks. I can smell it. It's not hard to find. And
yeah.
you're just like you are right now, completely normal, didn't smell any alcohol, nothing. So I'm like,
yeah. And the thing is weird.
That's what they went for.
They want you to believe that no one knew who I was at the time, but on Reddit, if you typed in my name, you got banned. So it was pretty obvious what was going on there. But yeah, continue.
And they went through this, and you became like a pariah. A lot of us were content creators on YouTube. A lot of us were. I'm the only one left from our district aside from you. I'm it. Yep. Everybody else decided to stick with GameStop. I lucked out. I make a small living doing this. I make enough to where I can pay to eat, where I can pay to keep me and my fiance happy, and where I can do all this, that, and the other. So for me, this became a job, and I took it. Like, as soon as they told me that this was my option A or option B, I was like, well, sorry, this is my passion. You're not going to tell me that I'm not allowed to do something when I'm not at work. I don't get paid off work. I get paid while I'm here, and I don't get paid enough. So you're going to tell me I can't do this while I'm at home. And I have to tell all these people that watch me, even if it is a small amount, I've made them a promise that I would be there to entertain them, make their day suck a little less. So you got to tell me that I got to go and tell them that goes away, and then I got to sit at home on the couch and just wait to go to work the next day. And that's what I got to do every night.
Yeah, and that was the thing with GameStop. They love to dictate what you did at home.
Once I found out it was you, I went to other stores to kind of figure stuff out. You're still talked about. Yeah. I'm living 5 minutes from one right now, and you're still talked about, because I still have to go, since this is what I do, I still occasionally have to go in there. If I need something real fast, I still gotta go in there. Don't like it, but I do. And you're still talked about.
Yeah, and I don't even really talk about GameStop that much. Like, well, it's crazy.
Some of them talk well about you. Some, like, anyone who's not a manager talks well about you. It's like, yeah, you're talking about this, and this. I've heard, you'll be proud to know, I've heard a lot of people have quit after watching your stuff.
Good.
Because it's right. And like, yeah, dude. Like, I'm not like trying to like to toot your horn for you or anything like that, but like you're right on a lot of the stuff, and a lot of people see it later. Mm-hmm. Like, I worked there for 10 years. I saw everything you did. I was still there a few months after you left. It was a nightmare for a lot of it. And it wasn't my managers. My managers treated me well. Both of them that I had the entire time I was there. One could be a butthole, but he had my respect. We just butted heads. We didn't think the same way. So we just butted heads. And the other one, dude could have damn near been my dad. He was that good of a guy. But if corporate got involved at all, district or higher, it was a nightmare. It became an immediate nightmare.
The corporate structure was so detached, and still is to this day, detached from the normal ass employees. And they canceled conference forever. Oh my God! I
heard about that.
That was the only thing that I locked anymore was going to Vegas and partying.
It's the only reason to be a manager ever. Yeah, was for that. For me, that wouldn't have been enough. I'm sorry. Like, kudos to you for being able to do it.
Yeah.
Too much garbage rolls downhill for that to be something I could have done.
So tell me about the day. Like, so they gave you an ultimatum, basically. They're like, okay, look, Camelot exists. He's trash bag. If you're doing YouTube and you're not towing the line, then you got to get the hell out. So that's basically what happened.
Yeah, pretty much.
So tell me about the last day. So, like, how did the last day go?
Honestly, after they'd come through and said all this, that, and the other, and the bigwigs left, and I talked to my manager. When I talked to him, he looked at me knowing that I was probably going to leave, because he knew what I did for everything. And he just looked at me, he's like, I'm not going to blame you if you leave. I'll keep you if you'll stay here, but I ain't going to blame you if you leave. And I looked at him, I gave him about 2 weeks, and I gave him my 2 weeks, and was like, actually, no, I went home and slept on it. My fiance looked at me and said, if you even take a chance to think about this, just no. Yeah. Just quit that and go do what you want to do. Went back. I gave him my 2 weeks. He himself was very nice about it, but I had issues going into other stores from time to time. Anyone who recognized me. Yeah. It's the reason why for a long time I stopped going into stores, because the only 2 stores I could go into was my home one, because my head manager and I quit on good terms with him. and Big T. You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I go into his store.
Yeah, dude,
I go into his store, no problem.
I can't go into any of them, obviously, but I did go into one in Houston a few years ago, and they were like high-fiving me, so that was cool. But, but that was like 2020, so I don't know. I'm terrible. I don't like to even go around GameStop because PTSD, dude. If my phone rings and I don't recognize the number, I start tripping balls. So GameStop ruined my damn mental health, man.
I'll definitely give it that. I had to worry about being sick. I had to worry about being hurt. I had to worry about. I have CRPS, complex regional pain syndrome. My leg will flare up with immense amounts of horrific pain, and I can't do much. And I will have to worry if I call out, am I going to be in trouble? If I'm late, am I going to be in trouble? Not because my manager's going to give me flack. He never did. He understood. Both of them did. But we would get calls from the higher ups. If I was even late, it would be bad. Or I would have other issues that would arise just health-wise. I'm literally falling apart. I have been legally declared dead twice.
Jesus.
Yeah, story for another day. But yeah. I've literally been declared dead twice. So that should tell you I've got some problems.
Yeah. And
they made me second guess myself on everything.
Which
I had a day because our district dude decided to talk down to me because I don't walk with a cane every day, but I was walking with a cane that day and he saw it. And he decided to talk down on me because of my cane. And I became self-conscious about carrying my dang cane in, not because I was like, oh, well, I carry a cane, but no, it was because like he basically told me it was unprofessional because he thought the cane was an add-on, like an accessory of some kind.
That's it, dude. That sounds exactly like something he would do too.
Yeah, and I limp everywhere. Like you've seen me walk. Yeah. I walk with a limp. I can't hide it. I've tried. I can't hide it. It's obvious.
Yep.
He made me feel like dirt for having it. It's a standard practice medical cane. When you buy, like you get in a pharmacy, not like this is like a grandma cane, not even like a fancy cane or anything. Why would I want that as an accessory? Why would I be doing this? I wanted to throw that thing away more times I can count, and this made it where I would leave the damn thing in my car.
Yep,
I would work with it in my car,
which is not safe for you. And I know it's not the same thing, but dude, there was dozens of occasions where there would be stuff like safety issues, like there would be a tornado warning. And you couldn't even see outside, and we would have to stay in the store.
That blizzard that happened a few years ago. Yeah. We weren't allowed to go home.
The blizzard, dude, they shut down the road to my home. It took me 12 hours to get home, and I almost wrecked 100 times. And they didn't pay me nor give a damn about it. They don't give a damn if you die, as long as you're making that money, son.
I actually had a manager that had to tell me something, and they made damn sure I knew this. Occasionally, I got to get on a ladder to change something.
Yep.
Signage, whatever it is, you got to change something. They made sure that anytime you had to be there, that you always had two people doing it, not because you need help, but so they could make sure that you had line of sight to the camera. Because our manager said if it happens off camera, which ours only covered half our store, the entire back store had no camera. He's like, you have to be on camera. I don't care what it is you're doing. You have to be on camera. This is how the manager looks out for you. So you have to be on camera. I was like, why? It's like, because anything happens to you in that leg of yours and you fall and that camera doesn't see it, they will not. They won't cover you.
Yep.
They won't cover you at all. And if you miss work the day after, they'll get rid of you. You cannot let that happen to you. Hearing that was horrifying because they would tell me to climb ladders because I'm the only one in the store that day. They're like, we need you to put up all the signage. I'm like, this leg don't do that. I would still have to do that.
Yeah. Dude, to be honest, it's a nightmarish place. And I'm still blown away that just because my channel existed, they didn't want you doing YouTube anymore. That blows me away. So what
I didn't even mention GameStop the first time. No one knew I worked for GameStop except for two or three people who found me and figured out I worked for GameStop.
Yeah, exactly. So what I want everybody to do that's watching is I want you to go to Zombie Go Nom I want you to go to his channel, subscribe to his stuff, and check out his stuff because I watched him stream all day the other day. And he's an awesome creator. So get the hell on it, doggone it. Go get him. Go get him some support. And also, dude, I want to thank you for coming on here and hanging out with me, dude. I was so excited when we randomly bumped into each other. I was like, oh my god, dude, let's talk.
Oh yeah, I was like, as soon as you popped in the stream, I was like, oh my god, I almost said your name out loud, and I had to stop myself. It's like, because I know that guy.
Yeah. So yeah, dude, thanks so much for coming on and telling your story. GameStop's a horrible damn place, and keep doing YouTube and keep your passions alive. Because now, it gets rough. It does. It totally gets rough sometimes.
Oh, it does.
But I would rather be doing this than being in that damn four walls ever again. That place is a god awful place. Like the district manager and up, you know the guy I'm talking about. Terrible people, and generally, like the corporate structure, the CEO, the whole executive, they're all awful people. They don't care about the employees in their stores, and they don't really care about the customers either. So, and that just goes to show them making up random stuff to say why I left the store or why I was quote unquote fired is just insane. Sleeping in the damn back room, drinking before I even started drinking. What the hell, son? Like,
it makes sense to me, man.
Just dumb stuff like that. So I think we can all agree on that. So go check out Zombies Go Nom, and please like the damn video. And I'll see you guys next time. I love you. Get the hell on it. Diggity doggone it, son.